I think this is his house. This is the address he gave me. This must be the right place.
Oh, and there's a bell. No, wait a minute, there's two bells.
Two bells. He's twice as funny. I told you. Here we go. Here, I'll push this one. You push that
Okay,
one.
on the count of three.
1, 2, 3. God, it's a whole orchestra.
Wow.
You'd think it would have been send in the clowns, wouldn't you?
That
He
didn't
didn't
work.
answer.
Maybe we could just...
Let's walk in.
Let's-
Hey, Bev, we're here. Bev,
Yeah.
Bev. Oh, hey, Larry, he's in here. Hey, Bev.
Hey, and I found one of his fans.
Oh, no. Oh, that's awful.
Hey, we just came to talk about your career, such as it was.
That's it was.
Want to get some stories about what you've done?
Maybe we better move out of the office because it's cramped. And we'll...
Letting us join you in your home here today, Bev. Just wanted to get a little insight on who Bev Bergeron is. I'm just amazed of all the stuff you've done. For instance, I've always said you're the man that invented animal balloons, but I guess...
No, it's wrong. I took the twist that they did on the old balloons. See, they used to use mini balloons to make a balloon. I saw a guy trying to do something with one balloon. It was a mess. I took it and improved on it, made the little poodle look right, and then 2 months later, we sat down and started working on all kinds of different balloons and hats and stuff with just one balloon. See, up to then it was multi-balloons. It was a 340s and all. 3 years later, they came out with what was called a 260. That's the one they're using today.
So
They call them pencil
you
balloons.
introduced them on national TV, though, right?
1959.
This was part
Yeah.
of the...
It was with Mark Wilson and Nani Darnell. Our first show was called The Magic Circus. We were the very first show ever videotaped, and Scotch brand cellophane tape. They sponsored us. Of course, 3M made the tape machines, and so if you bought a tape machine, you got our show. That was the way it was in '59.
So at this time, you were probably, what, one of the top-rated children's shows in America?
Yeah,
And it came on
Right.
when? Every
Saturday morning.
Saturday
Yeah.
morning, which when I was a kid, I
In
remember.
1960, we went
Saturday
to
morning.
CBS and had Kellogg's as a sponsor then. We just went from one thing to the other.
Didn't you go to color then?
No, we didn't go to color until way late in the 60s.
I've seen films of you on The Wonderful World of Alakazam with Mark Wilson and his wife Noni, and you, Rebo the Clown. Tell me how that all came about. You invented Rebo the Clown for
Yeah.
that show.
Right. For the actually going back to 1957 with a stage show with Mark, and then we made some film shots there back in those days, 16 millimeter.
We should say Mark Wilson.
Mark
it
Wilson.
was the
Yeah.
it was his show.
Right.
And he was one of the best known magicians
Right.
in America, I guess, at the time.
During the 60s, yeah.
Yeah. And so he asked you to join him on the
Yeah.
network.
Right.
And your job was not only comedy relief,
But
but
I was head writer on the show.
and didn't you also invent some of the magic tricks?
A major part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the show was comedy and magic
Yeah.
for the kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Jim Henson, who put the puppets on there, used some ideas that we created in 61 or 62. We tried to do a spinoff on us at CBS called Corky. And we made a little puppet, and it came to life. And Jim Henson told Mark Wilson one time that he saw the 3 or 4 episodes we made with that for our pilots, that they liked the idea.
Now, getting back to Rebo on TV, you really became big at fairs and all,
Oh, God.
because of all the hundreds of kids,
Yeah.
the thousands.
That's
that
where we
watched-
made our money.
That's what I was going to ask. It's kind of a delicate
Yes.
question, but the network didn't pay that much, but your other shows really brought it in.
We made more money in one day, just Mark, Nani, and Rebo, at a state fair than we'd make on network television for 2 weeks' work.
Isn't that amazing? Now,
I'm talking about the whole show. We had to bring, in other words, our show, we produced everything at CBS. I didn't work for CBS. Mark didn't work for CBS. They worked for us. When I brought my car in, there was Red Skelton on one side of me and Jack Benny on the other. I mean,
Jack Benny have a Maxwell?
No, oh God, no. No, he had a little Mercedes.
Yeah.
A 2-seater. I
But
loved
Maxwell was just for the TV show,
Yes.
I guess. Yeah.
And when I was coming in one time, and the guy on the gate was from Texas, and he knew me, and I still had an old broken down Plymouth with Texas license plates on it, and he says, let me right through. Behind me was Jack Benny. He stops Benny. So Benny pulls up, parks his car there, and I'm going in the door. All this junk, open my trunk. I got to get my costume, my props, and all this stuff. I'm banging my way through the door with Jack Benny opening the door, and as I walk past the guard just waves me on by. I could see Mr. Benny through the corner of my eye saying, "Who is that man?"
But you were on Red Skelton Show, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, he shot.
You're mostly known for magic. Tell me about your magic career. I mean, you've actually invented some magic tricks that we may know.
You've seen the one where they take the stacking boxes and they produce somebody out of that. Big doorway open.
You did that way back as Rebo. I remember that.
Yeah. That was our opening second year at Alakazam. We produced Mark out of it. Then we took those boxes and a guy said, "I would like to do something where you take a girl apart and all that." I said, "That's easier." And I drew it up on a napkin. I threw it to him. I said, "Build it." And that became the Mismade Lady. And that's where you put blades in the three different, you take the box apart, put her heads here, shoulders here, feet here, and all that. They're all screwed up. That's mine.
Wow.
The little train sawing, if you've ever seen Mark Wilson doing that, that was my basic idea. And a guy by the name of Frank Martineau did the finished design on it. And Frank was a master designer.
Didn't you do the bottle trick too, where
multiplying bottles is mine? Yeah. I didn't invent it. A friend of mine, later on, is a good friend of mine. I didn't know at the time. I performed it in L.A. He comes up to me and he says, "Do you know the story on the multiplying bottles?" I says, "Well, I think I've got the original." And he looked at me. He said, "Well," he says, "I sold a guy a comedy set of bottles. That's where you had three." You produce 3 bottles. It's supposed to be only one there, and you steal one, and you keep doing the trick. And he said, "I sold him three sets because he was a rich Texan." And I looked at him. I says, "That rich Texan was not rich. I was in the Air Force, Shepherd Air Force Base, and his wife hated magic, and I saw the set, and I said, I'll give you, some money for it." And his wife says, "You can have all his magic for $200. And a buddy of mine was with me. He says, "I'll put up 100. And I says, "I'll put up to 100 for the rest. All I want is the bottles." And that's how the bottles came about. And I put the act together, which everybody copied all over the world.
You mentioned you're in the service. Were you in? On a stamp. You showed me
Oh,
a
yeah.
stamp once. What country? How'd that come about?
Micronesia, which is part of the United States, which is strange.
What is it? Micronesia?
Micronesia.
How did you get on a stamp?
I have
for
no
them?
idea.
They
stole it off the internet
Wow.
and put my clown face there. And they misspelled my name. They spelled Beverly with an R. It should be Bevly.
Yeah.
It should be Bev, actually. And then they put Bergeron instead of Bergeron. But means they were typing
But
fast.
I'm impressed. I didn't know anyone
Yes.
that's been on a stamp because
Right.
you always think they're dead. You're not.
That's
are you?
right. No,
No.
that's what we're supposed to be dead.
Yeah, I understand you're writing books right now, writing some articles about when you were with the USO.
I write this column, for the Magic magazine. And about 3 months ago, I submitted one that they ran on touring with the USO in the Philippines. It was easy for that. But I've been writing and rewriting one for good gravy, maybe better than 5 years, trying to get it concise and awarding to the many people, the tens of thousands of people who contributed their time to the military from the First World War right on up.
I don't know whether to call you a great clown, a great magician, the master balloon maker, the great
Well, that's the problem, you see.
comedian.
That's the problem with me. The magicians say I'm a clown, and then the clowns won't accept me because he's a magician, and that way that's a cop out, and that's not only.
See, I think of you as a comedian.
Yeah.
I just think
Yeah.
altogether you're a very funny man.
This happens not only to me in my profession. There's other people that got caught with this. I mean, actors. They'll say, "Well, he's a great dramatic actor." No, I saw him in this drama, and he's much better as a drama actor. And as a result, they get no accolades, no awards, no nothing. It happens over and over and over again. So I'm in good company. I mean, when I look back at the number of the people that had not gotten awards,
And you've gotten a few.
Oh,
Just
God.
name a few of the big
yeah,
ones.
I've got all the big ones: the Lifetime Achievement by the Castle, Lifetime Achievement by the Society of American Magicians, the Jimmy Durante Comedy Award.
Bev, thanks a lot for letting us come into your home, seeing all this memorabilia, and getting to know the real Bev Bergeron. I'm sure our viewers will be very interested to see what a colorful, wonderful life you've had. Thank you very much.
Oh, hey, let me show something on the camera here. Couple of boxes of matches. This is really good. You're gonna like this. Notice there's no matches on the inside. You know why? It's my matchless trick. Larry, that's for you, isn't it? Watch this. I put this one back in like this. Close it up. This one goes da 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 da. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking there's something moving back and forth like this. You're saying that if I were to separate these little boxes like this, there's no way they can work now. Right? Wrong. Ooh. Da 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 da. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, where can I get that music? Well, I just happened to put it on the latest CD, and it pays 3%, by the way. Nobody knows that there's a CD and a CD, and it's what the heck with it. Forget it. Da 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 da. I know what you're thinking. You think I'm doing my thumb here and my fingers here. You're saying if I were to separate these little boxes far apart like this, there's no way that they can work now, right?
Whoa.
Da, 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 da. You know what makes them work? I'll tell you. The magic of Bev Bergeron. Ta-da!
That is great. That's perfect. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Now, where are the matches?